The plane trembled gently as it sliced through the evening clouds. Passengers settled into their seats, some scrolling through their phones, others drifting off to sleep. But one sound broke the calm: the soft, heart-wrenching cries of a little boy. Heads turned, eyes rolled. A few passengers muttered under their breath, clearly irritated. Near the back of the cabin, a young woman looked up from her seat, her heart tugging painfully at the sound. She couldn't ignore it. That woman was Emily Ross, a 27-year-old teacher returning home from visiting her sick mother. Life hadn't been kind lately. Between juggling 2 part-time jobs and caring for her family, she had little peace. But even in her exhaustion, she couldn't stand the sound of a child crying helplessly. It reminded her too much of her own past, of the years she had spent soothing her younger brother when their mother worked double shifts to keep food on the table. The crying grew louder. The child's sobs were broken and desperate. Emily glanced across the aisle, and her gaze fell on the source: a little boy, no older than 3, clutching a stuffed elephant as tears streamed down his face. Beside him sat a man, tall, broad-shouldered, and strikingly composed, yet his eyes betrayed helplessness. He was doing his best to calm the boy, but the child's cries only grew sharper. Emily hesitated for a moment, unsure if she should interfere, but her instincts took over. She unbuckled her seatbelt and approached softly. "Excuse me," she said gently, offering a reassuring smile. "May I try something?" The man looked up, clearly exhausted. His voice was deep but tired. "I've tried everything, a broken bar, he just won't stop." Emily crouched beside the seat, her eyes level with the boy's. "Hey there, sweetheart," she whispered softly. "What's your name?" The boy sniffled. "I'm a broken bar." "Hi, Liam," she said with a warm smile. "Would you like to hear a song? My mom used to sing this to me when I was scared." The boy blinked through his tears, curiosity overtaking distress for a moment. Emily began humming a slow, soothing lullaby, an old tune her mother had sung to her countless nights. Her voice was soft, pure, carrying through the cabin like a gentle breeze. Slowly, the boy's sobs quieted, his breathing steadied. Within minutes, Liam's eyes fluttered shut, his tiny fingers still clinging to his toy. The cabin, which had been tense moments ago, was now filled with silence, of the peaceful kind that makes everyone breathe easier. A few passengers even smiled. The man, watching his son sleep, looked up at Emily with something unreadable in his eyes. Gratitude, surprise, a broken bar, and something deeper. "Thank you," he murmured, almost as if afraid to break the calm she had created. She smiled. "It's nothing, really. I'm just glad he's okay." As Emily stood to return to her seat, the man's voice stopped her. "I'm Daniel," he said softly. "Daniel Grant." The name didn't ring a bell to her. She nodded politely, not knowing that Daniel Grant was one of the most influential billionaires in the country, the CEO of Grant Holdings, a man whose face often appeared on business magazines and financial news. But fame meant little to him now. Ever since his wife had passed away 3 years ago in a tragic accident, he had become a ghost of his former self, living for his son but hollow inside. The rest of the flight passed quietly. Every now and then, Daniel's eyes would drift toward Emily. There was something about her, something grounding. She wasn't like the people he met in his world of luxury and formality. There was a warmth in her that felt a broken bar real. When the plane landed, passengers hurried off. Emily helped Daniel with his bags without hesitation, chatting kindly to little Liam, who had woken up and immediately reached for her hand. Outside the airport, Daniel watched as Emily hugged the child goodbye. "You're really good with him," he said quietly. Emily smiled, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "I'm a teacher. Comes with the job, I guess." Daniel hesitated. "Would you, a broken bar, like to stay in touch?" "Liam doesn't warm up to people easily." She hesitated. He seemed kind, but she wasn't sure why a man like him, polished, confident, clearly wealthy, would want to stay in touch with someone like her. Still, something in his tone made her nod. "Sure," she said softly. They exchanged numbers, and that was how it began. Days turned into weeks. Daniel texted her occasionally, small things at first. A thank you message, a photo of Liam laughing while holding the stuffed elephant. Gradually, their conversations deepened. They spoke about life, loss, and the strange loneliness that often hid behind a smile. Emily learned about his wife's passing, about the guilt he carried for not being there that night. Daniel learned about her struggles, caring for her mother, managing her teaching job, the endless cycle of giving without ever receiving. And somewhere between those late-night talks and chance meetings at the park with Liam, something gentle began to grow. It wasn't love at first sight, it was love that healed. Love that mended two broken hearts piece by piece. But not everyone saw it that way. When the world found out that the billionaire CEO was spending time with a simple teacher, whispers spread like wildfire. The media hounded her. People online mocked her, calling her a gold digger. Emily, overwhelmed, pulled away. "I don't belong in your world, Daniel," she said through tears. "They'll never accept me." Daniel looked at her, pain etched in every line of his face. "I don't care what they think, Emily. You and Liam are my world now." But Emily shook her head. "You deserve peace, a broken bar, not another scandal." She walked away that night, her heart breaking with every step. Weeks passed. Daniel tried to focus on work, but every board meeting, every empty dinner reminded him of her. Liam asked for her constantly. "Daddy, where's Miss Emily?" And every time, Daniel had no answer. Then one day, as Daniel prepared for a charity event for orphan children, he looked out across the crowd and froze. Standing by the stage, surrounded by children, was Emily. She was singing the same lullaby, her voice softer and steady, calming the restless crowd of little ones. Their eyes met, and in that moment, the world fell silent again, just like on that plane. After the event, he walked up to her, tears in his eyes. "I never stopped missing you," he whispered. She smiled faintly, voice trembling. "I never stopped caring." Daniel took her hand gently. "Let's stop running from what we both need, a family, not perfect, but real." Emily's eyes filled with tears as little Liam ran toward them, wrapping his small arms around her legs. "Miss Emily, Daddy and I missed you." She knelt, hugging him tightly. "I missed you too, sweetheart." Daniel looked at them, at the woman who had brought light back into his life and the son who had taught him to love again. And in that crowded hall, surrounded by applause and laughter, he knew he had finally found what money could never buy: a peace, love, and a home. Moral: sometimes, the smallest acts of kindness, like a song to calm a crying child, can change the course of not just one life, but many. Love often begins in the most unexpected moments, between strangers whose hearts were quietly waiting to be found.